Absolutely wonderful day. Let's talk about metric font. Oh, hey, that's the name of the paper you should have in front of you. So make sure before you begin this video, you have this paper in front of you right here. We're going to spend today talking about comparisons, right? We remember those: greater than, less than, equal to. So this is something we haven't really done a lot of before today. We've been doing adding and subtracting of different metric units, and maybe a little conversion, but not a lot of really comparisons. So I'd like to kind of start things off by doing that, okay? But before we begin here, I'm going to show you, again, this is nothing that you have to write down. I'm just going to show you different ways that you can represent different numbers, okay? So check this out. This number obviously is 678, right? Now there's different ways that you could represent this number. You could say that there are 600s. Now this next part is a little bit unusual. You could say that there are 78 ones. Now we don't normally say 78 ones, right? We normally break it up to like 600s, 710s, 8 ones. But you could technically say there are 78 ones, right? There's more than one way to peel an onion. You could actually represent it that way if you wanted to. Now this would really help us out in the world of the metric system, because we could just say the 6 in the hundreds place could represent meters, because there's 100 centimeters in a meter. And the leftover bits that are less than 100 would be the centimeters. So this could also represent 6 meters in the leftover bits, 78 centimeters. How about a larger number like this? Okay, well, we're now in the thousands, so you could separate the thousands and everything that's less than 1,000. Yes, we could say 82 ones if we wanted to, but basically all we need to know is this is less than 1,000. So the number that's in the thousands, well, let's see, that could represent kilometers, that could represent kilograms, that could represent how many liters there were, and the leftover bits, well, let's see, if it was kilometers, it could be 82 meters, right? Because 1,000 meters is a kilometer. We could say the 82 could be grams, because 1,000 grams makes a kilogram, or we could say milliliters, right? Because 1,000 milliliters equals a liter. So these are different ways that we can, well, let's do one more. Oh, why not? Okay, 253,165. Again, everything that's in the thousands, all right, could represent something like a kilometer, right? Everything that when you bundle it up to 1,000, 1,000 of these makes this, 1,000 of these, that's what this could represent. Does that make sense? 1,000 grams makes a kilogram. 1,000 milliliters makes a liter. Stuff like that, just like before. And then now, could you say 165 ones? It's unusual, but you could say it. All we need to know is that this is less than 1,000. Okay, so it could represent either meters or grams or milliliters. That's really important for us to know with today's lesson. No, you're not writing this down. You weren't writing any of this down. This is just me teaching you. Okay, so you don't have to write any of that down. Let's begin here, shall we? This is going to reflect kind of what I was just talking about. Now, 429 is 429, and I want you to write the word ones. And again, we don't normally say it like that. However, it could work. You could say it's, if you made a little line here, 400s, 29 ones. We just want to make sure we separate the hundreds from the rest, because over here, we're going to talk about centimeters, right? Everything that's in the hundreds place would represent meters, and everything that's not less than 100 will represent centimeters, like you see right here. Well, that's a horrible line. So 4 would represent meters, and the 29 would represent, just what I was just talking about. Okay? What about this one right here? Okay? Again, we make this little separation between the thousands and whatever is less than 1,000, just like I just showed you before in that lined paper that you did not have to copy. So 456 is the ones, and 2 would be the thousands, because we're kind of just talking about this like it's a regular number, not like it's metric. Again, I've said it before and I'll say it again a million times. Pause this video as many times as you need to. Rewind it, do whatever you need to do, rewind it. I don't think that's really an accurate term. So right now we're talking about meters, right? Well, you know what meters is associated, right? It's associated with kilometers, meters and kilometers, right? So it's about length. So we know that whatever is in the thousands place is going to be a kilometer, and km, and the rest is going to be meters. Okay? So let's see. This next one is grams and kilograms, right? Like that. So let's see. I'm going to have you do this one, E and F on your own, okay? Because this one is just like the one above it. So again, not that tricky. This one, though, we're talking about separating the thousands from what is not the thousands, okay? This is 13 kilograms. 709 represents what? Kilograms? Okay, so I want you to write that in, okay? Fill in the unknown number. Folks, just take this and this, combine it together, and put a comma in between it. I mean, it's not really, you know what I'm saying? You could do this. I want you to do that as well. And then for this, I also want you to combine this together because we're going to represent both the liters and the milliliters as only milliliters, okay? So again, put this together with this with a comma in the middle, and that would represent only milliliters. So this would go here, and this would go here, absolutely. Okay, again, pause this video as many times as you need to, okay? So now we're gonna get into comparing, okay? And comparing these numbers is pretty great because especially for this first part, right? Oh, by the way, please ignore the fact that the numbers are all weird. Like it says we start off with number 2, there's no numbers here. Then it says we go to number 5 on the back and then 3. None of that really matters. Like listen, I completely copied and pasted these from different sources. That's why the numbers are all out of whack. Don't worry about it, okay? It's supposed to be weird like that, all right? So this first chunk right here, it literally says, take this right here and just represent it as meters. That way you're comparing meters to meters, apples to apples. So we'll do the first one together. 23 kilometers is the same as 23,000. And whatever the leftover bits goes here, right, in the ones period, in 40. Okay, I said and, I know. Big deal. Then so now we have 23,040, 2,340. Put the greater than or less than. Well, I wouldn't put the equal sign if I was you, but whatever. Put that there, okay? So how this was smushy together is going to be how this is going to be smushy together. The same darn way, right? Kind of how I set up here. Like, hey, just take these and smush them together and put a comma in between them. That's what you're going to do right here. Take the liters and milliliters and write it as only milliliters. Just like this was written as only meters, right? So I want you to do that. Take this, combine it together here, then fill in greater than, less than, or equal to. I believe in you. You can do this, okay? Again, pause the video as many times as you want. This right here, we've got meters and centimeters. Well, that's different, isn't it? That's different, okay? And it says convert to centimeters. It literally tells you what to do. And remember, when we're converting from meters to centimeters, we do not add 3 zeros, we add 2, okay? We add 2. So add 2 zeros to this number. Right? You're going to have to switch around where the comma is, okay? And then you'll have a new number, and then you'll be comparing centimeters to centimeters, right? Oranges to oranges, grapes to grapes, kiwis to kiwis, okay? So I'm literally telling you what to do. Add 2 zeros here to this number, write it here. You'll have to change where the comma is, okay? And the other side isn't really super duper different than what you were just doing. Okay, it's not really that different than what you were doing, okay? So we have here, for 5A, we have milliliters to a mixture, right? So what you should do is change this to only milliliters. Combine these, add the comma, that way you'll be comparing milliliters to milliliters. Capiche? Let's see if I can move this up a little bit. Right here, you always want to go to the pretty much always want to go to the smaller unit. This is meters, this is kilometers meters, so change it to only meters. Okay? This represents the thousands, this represents the ones. Write the number there with a comma. And then don't forget to put the symbol in between. Okay? Meters to centimeters. Now this one is a little bit different, right? Because this one right here is where we add a couple of zeros, right? For this one, we're just smushing them together, right? Smushing them together, adding a comma, smushing. This one, we have to add how many zeros? It's centimeters. How many zeros do we add? That's right, we add that many zeros to this number right here. And we put it down here. So we have 5, 3, 3, 9, and then, oh, I don't know how many zeros. You know how many because I said it earlier in the video. And then, again, that way you're comparing centimeters to centimeters, okay? Last but certainly not least, again, this information right here is no different than what you did up here. So again, always go to the smaller unit. Make these into meters, okay? Make this number into only milliliters and make this into centimeters, and you know how many zeros to add. Maybe it's 2, I don't know, who knows? So then you'll be able to complete this. Okay, I believe in you. You can do this. And I think you're going to do a fantastic job. All right, I hope you have a wonderful day. Again, go back to other parts of this video if you need to. Slow down, go through it as slowly as you need to. Absolutely, and you can do this. Okay, have a wonderful day, folks.